Many learners say English is too fast. They hear words, but they do not understand. That's why today's video is slow English listening. Clear words, short sentences, step by step. And the story? A man who slept for 20 years. What happened to his life? What did he learn? By the end, you will understand more English and feel inspired. Subscribe now and let's begin. Long ago, there was a small village in America. The village was near beautiful mountains. Green trees covered the mountains. A river ran through the village. The village was peaceful and quiet. People knew each other well. Children played in the streets. Women worked in their gardens. Men worked in the fields. Life was simple in this village. People helped each other. They shared food. They shared stories. Everyone was like family. But in every village, there are different kinds of people. Some people work hard. Some people are lazy. This is the story of one lazy man. His name was Rip Van Winkle. Rip Van Winkle lived in the village. He was about 40 years old. He had a kind face and gentle eyes. Children loved him very much. Rip was different from other men. He was very friendly. He always smiled. He helped his neighbors with small things. "Good morning, Mrs. Johnson," Rip would say. "Good morning, Rip," she would answer. "How are you today?" "I am very well, thank you," Rip would reply. Rip loved to tell stories. He told stories to children. He told stories about animals. He told stories about the forest. The children listened with big eyes. But Rip had one big problem. He did not like to work hard. He preferred to have fun. He preferred to be free. Rip was married to a woman named Dame Van Winkle. Dame Van Winkle was very different from Rip. She worked hard every day. She cleaned the house. She cooked the food. She washed the clothes. But Rip did not help her much. Every morning, Dame Van Winkle gave him work to do. "Rip, fix the fence today," she would say. "Yes, dear," Rip would answer. But Rip never fixed the fence. He would walk away. He would go to the forest instead. Dame Van Winkle became very angry. "Rip Van Winkle!" she would shout. "You are the laziest man in the village. Other husbands help their wives. Why don't you help me?" Rip felt bad when she shouted, but he did not change. He continued to be lazy. Every day was the same. Dame Van Winkle shouted at Rip. Rip felt sad and tired. He wanted to escape from her angry words. So Rip would take his gun and his dog. His dog's name was Wolf. Wolf was old but faithful. Wolf followed Rip everywhere. "Come, Wolf," Rip would say. "Let's go to the mountains." Rip and Wolf would walk into the forest. The forest was quiet and peaceful. Rip could think there. He could breathe there. Sometimes Rip would hunt small animals. Sometimes he would just sit and watch the birds. The mountains made him feel happy and free. "Here, nobody shouts at me," Rip thought. "Here, I can be myself." But every evening, Rip had to go home. And every evening, Dame Van Winkle was waiting for him. "Where were you all day?" she would ask angrily. One autumn day, Rip walked very deep into the mountains. The trees were red and yellow. The air was cool and fresh. Wolf ran beside him, happy and free. Rip walked higher and higher. He had never been so high before. The village looked very small below him. Suddenly, Rip heard a voice calling his name. "Rip Van Winkle! Rip Van Winkle!" Rip stopped walking. He looked around. Where was the voice coming from? "Who is calling me?" thought Rip. Wolf heard the voice too. Wolf's ears stood up. Wolf looked worried. The voice called again. "Rip Van Winkle! Help me, please!" Rip was curious. Who knew his name in this deep forest? He decided to find the person. "Come, Wolf," said Rip. "Let's see who was calling us." Rip followed the voice. Soon he saw a very strange little man. The man was much shorter than Rip. He had a long white beard. His clothes were very old and strange. The little man was carrying a heavy wooden barrel. The barrel was full of something. The man was struggling with the weight. "Sir," said the little man, "can you help me? This barrel is very heavy." Rip was always kind to people. He never refused to help. "Of course I will help you," said Rip. "Where are you going?" "Up the mountain," said the little man. "There's a flat place up there. My friends are waiting for me." The little man spoke in a strange way. His voice sounded old and mysterious, but Rip did not worry about this. Rip took the barrel. It was indeed very heavy. Together, Rip and the little man walked up the mountain. Wolf followed them, but Wolf looked nervous and afraid. After walking for some time, they reached a flat place on the mountain. There, Rip saw something incredible. Many little men were there. They all looked like the first man. They all had long, white beards. They all wore old, strange clothes. The men were playing a game. They had big, heavy balls. They rolled the balls across the flat ground. When the balls crashed together, they made loud sounds. Crash! Boom! Thunder! The sounds echoed through the mountains. Now Rip understood. These sounds were the thunder that people heard in the village. The little men did not speak much. They played their game in silence. Their faces were serious and mysterious. One of the men brought Rip a cup. The cup was full of a strange drink. "Drink this," said the man. The drink smelled sweet and strong. Rip had never smelled anything like it. Rip looked at the cup. The drink was golden and sparkled in the sunlight. It smelled like flowers and honey. "What is this?" asked Rip. "It is our special drink," said the little man. "It will make you feel good." Rip was thirsty after the long walk. The drink smelled delicious, so he drank it. The taste was wonderful. It was sweet and warm. It made Rip feel relaxed and happy. But soon, something strange happened. Rip's eyes became heavy. His body became tired. He could not stay awake. "I need to sleep," thought Rip. He lay down under a big tree. Wolf came and lay beside him. The little men continued their strange game. Crash! Boom! Thunder! But Rip could not hear the sounds anymore. He fell into a very deep sleep. It was the deepest sleep of his life. The little men watched him sleep. Then they disappeared like magic. Rip opened his eyes. Bright sunlight woke him up. Birds were singing in the trees. Everything seemed peaceful and normal. But when Rip tried to stand up, his body felt different. His joints were stiff and painful. His muscles were weak. Rip looked at his hands. They were wrinkled and old. He touched his face. He had a long, white beard. "What happened to me?" said Rip in shock. His clothes were old and torn. His gun was rusty and broken. Where was Wolf? His faithful dog was not there. Rip looked around. The flat place was empty. The little men were gone. There was no sign of their game or their barrels. "Did I dream everything?" thought Rip. But his old hands and white beard told him that something real had happened. Something very strange and mysterious. Slowly and carefully, Rip began walking down the mountain. Every step was difficult with its old body. When Rip reached his village, he could not believe his eyes. Everything was different. The houses were bigger and newer. The streets were different. Even the people looked different. Rip walked to his old house, but it was not his house anymore. It was broken and empty. Nobody lived there. "Where is my wife?" thought Rip. "Where are my friends?" A young woman saw him walking in the street. "Excuse me," she said. "Who are you, old man?" "I am Rip Van Winkle," said Rip. "I live here." The woman looked surprised. "Rip Van Winkle? But that's impossible. Rip Van Winkle disappeared 20 years ago. People say he went to the mountains and never came back. 20 years! Rip had slept for 20 years. Then the woman looked more carefully at Rip's face. "Wait," she said softly. "You have the same eyes as the man in my grandmother's old picture. Are you really Rip Van Winkle?" "Yes," said Rip sadly. "But everything is gone. My wife, my friends, my life." The woman smiled with tears in her eyes. "I am Judith," she said. "I am your daughter. And these are your grandchildren." 3 beautiful children ran to Rip and hugged him. Rip had learned the most important lesson of all. Time is precious. Every day with family is a gift. He had lost 20 years, but now he would not waste another day. From that day forward, Rip helped his daughter. He played with his grandchildren. He told them stories. He lived each day with love and purpose. And he was never lazy again. This is the story of Rip Van Winkle, a man who slept for 20 years and learned that time is our most precious gift. What can we learn from Rip? We learned that every day matters. We learned that family is important. We learned that we must not waste time. The more you listen, the more you understand, and the more you hear real inspiring stories, the stronger you feel. Come back every day for another Slow English story. Each story will help you learn English and learn about life. Subscribe, activate the bell, like this video, and share with friends who are learning English too. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow with another inspiring story.